Hello guys, once again it's Dave and welcome to the Weird Kid Show. You thought I disappeared with the prop tutorials, didn't you? The last two videos I had the opportunities to interview a couple of people here that I admire and would like to see them succeed, so I jumped on it while the iron was hot. So we left off, it was part one on the cursed book. Okay, and if you didn't see last time in part one, I took this book box, if you will. It's a faux book, and then it's got the box inside. You've seen these before. You can buy them at Hobby Lobby, maybe even Joann's or Michael's or something like that. And they're pretty nifty. And I saw this at, I think I just picked this up at Goodwill, and it was only a few bucks. And I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to try something with that someday. And so here we are. I explained to you I was trying to foam fill one of my masks and didn't think about it until after, but anyways, long story short, I had a cast here that didn't work out, so, but when I pulled it out I looked at it and it's all morphed and stuff like that, and I'm like, you know, hell, I can use that for something, and we're gonna run with it. So this is our cursed book. I'm almost inclined to call it a book of nightmares, you know, when you open it up, all your worst fears come out of this book, you know. And this is even more deadlier than the Necronomicon from Evil Dead, because in Necronomicon, the book by itself was innocent enough. It took for you to recite or read passages or the incantations from the book for it to be dangerous, and we all know the story on how that went. This here is more dangerous because all you have to do is merely open it. So I envisioned this thing, it was so evil that maybe it was locked up, put in this chest, and then buried deep in a cave and caved in, and you know, maybe there was some curses put on it or some undead warriors to protect it, because we don't need that kind of evil to escape. But here we have it, and it's opened. And so what do we see coming out of this? Well, I got this like John Carpenter, The Thing. I love that movie. That's like one of my top favorite movies, and I draw a lot of inspiration from that. And in fact, at some point in time, I want to go crazy and do a build where it's just full-on John Carpenter's The Thing inspired creature. I love that stuff. And so I want to put elements like that in this here. So what are we going to do? Well, I told you I'm going to cheat with the mouth. I got this at Spirit Halloween on clearance. We got some gross-looking bubble, like some boils or wherever they are there. We're going to put them on there, and we're going to blend it all in, because I'm going to latex this, then we're going to do the blue shop tile and latex. We're going to put some eyes, and I decided on some eyes, and I like these. They're like reptilian looking, okay? I like those, but we're going to go a step further, guys. You guys recognize these. These are the little Dollar Tree rat skeletons that they start showing up around Halloween, and I bought a bunch of these, and I put them all in a safe place because I could only find two. So I've got a stash of them somewhere, and they're safe. I just can't find them. That's how safe they are. Anyways, I took them and then I locked the ears off of them. Okay, and we're gonna take some armature wire and some carved up pool noodle. This isn't the final shape, and we're gonna have these like morphing like tendrils coming out of this thing with these crazy little demon heads, serpentine looking heads. We're gonna put some little glass eyes in them, and then we're gonna just start tricking it out. Now I got some of these. You guys have seen these before. These are the purple battery powered string lights that are sold at Halloween at the Dollar Tree. Hopefully, if you're anything like me, when that time comes around, I grab bunches of them so that I'll have them, because I know that they won't be available for the rest of the year unless I go online, and you can expect to pay more than at the $1.25 store. That's what I call it now, $1.25. Waiting for it to be a buck $1.50 store. So anyways, guys, we're gonna jump into this thing. I hope you're excited like I am. Let's get on this thing. Check this out. Alright guys, so the first thing that I'm gonna do, which I think is the smartest thing to do for this entire build, is if I'm gonna put them lights in there, I need to do it now. And the reason why I need to do it now is because I'm gonna be building and closing all this in. So I need to put them in, and then as I build it up, I can figure out where to finagle the lights to get the most out of them at the end, because I can also go overboard and you not see the lights at all, and it will have all been in vain. We don't want that. So I took these out. This is what they look like if you haven't seen them before. About, I don't know, 24 inches I would say long, and it takes 2 AA batteries. There again, there's the box that they come in. And I got me a drill bit here, my trusty drill. And then I think a good spot would just be right here. Here. Pulling on that latex. Alright, so that's all I need is just a hole there. And I'm done with the drill. So that was the extent of our power tools, guys. So, alright, so I just got me a simple little hole there, in which case I'm able to just simply, I say simply feed the wire through. All I need to do is grab the first bulb and start getting started, and then it's just a matter of feeding each one through. And I didn't, but you probably want to test these before you go to this extent, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that, because yeah, it would kind of stink to put all this in, get it all wired up, get your latex and all your work done, get it all painted and finished, and then put in some batteries and turn it on and it doesn't work. It does happen. I have bought lights from the $1.25 store. See, I want to say $1.50. We'll see. The Dollar Tree. I've bought them and brought them home and then put the batteries in them to find out they just don't work. So we're going to throw some batteries in this now just to check it. Yay! And they work! That's cool. Alright, so we didn't buy a dud, and this wasn't in vain. Although I do have a whole bunch of them over there, so if they didn't work, it would have been good anyways. Alright, tested. So now I need to tuck the wires in, the lights, and fix my easel. Okay, so what I can do is, what I want to do is pinch this wire here on top between the foam and the light. Get that light down in there. Alright, so now I can actually start building off this thing. Now I heard one of the viewers and somebody I interact with on Facebook, Rob mentioned, he said he was going to do a Pandora's box in this style, and I thought that's a great idea. And you guys don't have to do a cursed book. You can also do a box of evil and put the lights in it and stuff, and then do your latex, do the same kind of thing. Maybe you can have a skull coming out of it, or make your own faces or something like that. This is where we're at now. What I need is my trusty latex, which this is the bucket I'm working out of now for for stuff like this, because it's starting to get, it's a bit coagulated in some areas. I need to put some ammonia in there to thin it out, but It's the bottom of the barrel, so it's not something I would use for my molds. I have a fresh 2-gallon bucket over there waiting. And I don't need to put a lot. I tend to use a lot sometimes. That's about all I need now, and I can always go back in if I need more. So we got that, and this is casting latex. It's not the same as the latex that you buy at Walmart or something that's used for facial appliances. It's got different properties to it. So, and all I need is the trusty blue shop towels. Okay. And we're gonna use a bunch of that. I love this stuff here. And just need to take it and crumple it up and rip off the edges, make it crude. You know, you don't want clean edges because it'll stick out like a sore throat. And then just a brush, I don't care about it. I buy packets of these. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put some latex on that mouth. I want to get a good coat on there because this is going to act like an adhesive for the mouthpiece. But then we're going to be able to go back over the top of it with some shop towels. We can create lips or whatever we want to do. That's the beauty part of this. Working with shop towels and latex is just awesome. You can create so much. If you got some cotton or if you got some pool noodles to cut up, anything. Even if you just crumpled up newspaper with wire armature. I buy lengths of this at the dollar store, and it bends pretty easy, so it makes for good armatures. You can double it up if you want to, if you want something sturdier. Okay, now they only sell it in certain lengths. I would be interested in finding a larger source for this stuff because I use a lot of this stuff too. So anybody knows a good source for that gauge wire that's flexible like that, I would really be interested in knowing. Okay, so I got a good coat of latex on there. It doesn't take long to dry. I'm going to go ahead and set that mouth on there. Now this stuff here they attach with, they don't use latex when they put these appliances on. This is, you know, for Halloween or for a film shoot. They use a gum-based product that's sticky. Spirit gum, I guess they call it. So, right down there. I'm not going to be worried about crude edges. You know, I'm not going to be worrying about that. I just need to get it on there. I'm not worried if there's like areas here, like you can see, it's not sitting flush. And it's not, you know, it'll stick a little bit there, but if it's sticking up a little bit, I'm not worried about that, okay? And you shouldn't be either, because like I said, we're going to go and cover all of this and tie this latex prosthetic into this face, okay? And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. And already I like it. I think he's kind of cool. And so that'll take a minute to set up there, and we can start working on it a little bit. Alright, so while that's setting up a little bit there, I'm going to go ahead and glue this eye on. All I got to do is basically, I just need to tack it, if you will. For that I can just use super glue. Alright, I might eat up some of the styrofoam because super glue reacts to the styrofoam. And I just need to get it on there. Alright guys, this was one of those moments where I get to going on it and I'm like, I stop because something clicks and I get another idea. So I'm not actually going to put another glass eye over there because what I think I'm going to do is the way that this is recessed on this side, I think it would be cool is if I dug that eye out a little bit and it's out of this cavity here that we have our serpentine-like creatures coming out of it. Alright? You think that would be cool? Alright, so that eye's set where I want it. Our latex is still setting up here. It's getting sticky, drying up. I might want to put a little bit of glue down there. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and create some eyelids over here on this eye. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to take a piece and I'm going to rip it as straight as I can. I want a straight edge covering the eyeball. Okay, so this is the only place where I have like a really straight edge, and to do that, I just fold the shop towel and get a clean edge. Okay, and then I'll come in and I'll put some latex around the eye. I try not to get too much on the eye itself, but I'm not worried about it because you can always go back at the end and cut away with a razor knife and peel away that extra latex. But because the eyelids are going to be over the eyes a little bit, so I still want some here. So I'm going to take this, decide what size I want, and then I'm going to push it down up here. Bring it over here. Okay. Now to start tying it in, and to do that I just start slapping some latex on the paper towel, and you'll be amazed. It actually makes us like a very strong skin too. I love this process. This is an amazing process. It's an old process, but you know, I really didn't start doing it until late last year, and ever since I started doing it, I've been hooked. Alright, so I need to, every once in a while, I'll take my brush, and then I'll wipe it and pull the latex because it'll start getting gummed up pretty quick. That latex starts to dry and the brush starts to become harder and harder to work with. And so I'll do that and I'll break it up a little bit. Usually my brushes last a lot longer, but like I said, this is old latex. It's starting to get a bit clumpy in areas, so it's working good for this, but like I said, and now I want to bring that right up to the edge. Try not to get it on the eye, but like I said, if you do get it on the eye, it's not the end of the world. Tie all this in. Alright, so now we've got our top eyelid. Alright, so we're starting to get that top eyelid there. I got like some rough edges there, but it's okay because I'm gonna fill this whole thing in. Alright, so now I'm gonna continue and I'm gonna create that bottom eyelid. Same process. I'm just gonna fold that paper towel over, rip off some excess here, what I know I'm not gonna use. It's okay to kind of test fit a little bit there. Okay, that's perfect. Get some latex down underneath here. I want some on the eye a little bit. I'm digging this, guys. I hope you're liking it. It's super easy, and you can create so much with this, you know. There's so many different combinations and different ways you can do this. Alright, so there we have our eyeball. He looks demonish. I'm liking that. He looks like he means business. So I'm gonna let this set up a little bit. So yeah, and you can see over here I started running a little bit of problems, couldn't figure out why. Well, it's because I used some super glue to tack that, and it ended up getting over here, so I was picking up stuff and my brush was sticking to the paper towel. So I gotta give that a chance to cure a little bit, and then I can go back in and cover it with some more paper towel. In the meantime, I'm gonna figure out where I want this. I like that. We're gonna use this here because this was like a little blowout here. We're gonna use that as like some kind of a wound or something like that. We're gonna utilize it. We're gonna take advantage of all the little textures and nooks and crannies. So I'm covering the top here with some latex. Get the coat on there nice and liberal. And we'll slap that on there and position it. There again, I'm not too concerned about the edges. We're going to work them in. You can always put a little bit of glue under there. We're going to come back in with some paper towel. Alright, so he's coming along. So now it's just going to be until I get to this eye where we start putting the armatures. I'm just going to be going in and filling in the blanks. And so got me some shop towel here. I'm going to rip me up a piece. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and put some latex on this mouth here. I'm going to go right up to the gum, like the right where his mouth starts pretty much. Up underneath the nose. Don't have to put a lot, we just need to get this thing we just need to get it to stick. I can pull some away. That's the thing, if you put too much reach in there, just grab some and rip it. You're going to create a unique edge, and even if you pulled off too much, you can always go and put in some more. Okay, so I'm going to go back over this. Some paper towel, and some latex. Alright, this piece here, go ahead and start bridging between that piece and what we did here over the eyelids. And you can create textures with this too, you guys. Just don't think you have to lay it flat. You can pull it back a little bit and create like a little bevel if you want. I just put in a little crease there. So when we go ahead and latex that, you've got a texture. You've got like a crease. So you can create texture. You can also use cotton. You can go in, you can use hot glue. If you want to put in worry lines or crow's feet or whatever you want to put, textures, wrinkles, you can go in with the hot glue gun and draw out your lines and textures, and then that'll give you that raised area when you go over it with the paper towel. So there's a lot of ways of doing this. Okay, so I'm going ahead and I'm just getting that paper towel saturated. I'm going to give me another brush. That one got too rigid with that super glue that was on there. So I'm going to go right up to the edge here. I like that. I thought about giving them some subtle lips, but I like that. It's more, to me, it's more inhuman. So, kind of like Chatterer from the Clive Barker Hellraiser series. In fact, he could be Pinhead's long lost brother. I love those movies, by the way. I don't know if you guys like those Hellraiser movies with Doug Bradley as Pinhead, and I really enjoyed that stuff. In fact, that was one I read that book. Clive Barker, when he first released that book, it was actually titled A Hellbound Heart. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. It wasn't called Hellraiser. It was named Hellraiser for the theatrical release, and that's what we know it as today. Alright, so I'm going to just keep going, guys. Putting some more latex down. Now I'm going around on this side where the mouth is. And I'm going to check my paper towel. This is a little piece. It's okay. I'm going to crumple it up. Just slap it on there. I'm going to give it a little crease. Some texture. We don't want them to have smooth skin. We want them to be jacked up, if you will. Alright, so I'm going with the latex right over the top. And this doesn't take long at all either, really, guys. Now, this is where it's going to start getting crazy, okay? So what I need to decide to do is how to bridge the gap. I thought about like protoplasm, kind of like a protoplasm that's seeping out onto the book, and it's like black or something. And that's another thing too, guys, because we're not going to paint it in this episode. I want you guys to give me some feedback on what you think the color scheme should be on this guy. Me, I'm leaning towards black, I guess. Charcoal, like from the depths of hell. Murky black. I think of like The Ring, Samara. Everything's black and dark. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments, because I really am not sure. We can go like a demonic red and do a black wash, and then with the purple lights coming through. I thought the charcoals, the black with the charcoals, would look good because it would be something like, from hell. And then with the purple lights accenting it, that would be a cool look. But I'm open to suggestions, guys, so let me know. Alright, so I can just put some latex right over the top of this over here through here. It's going to really tie it in. Plus, when we get in there with the paper towel, it's really gonna get it's gonna become permanent. You'd have to like stretch it and rip it actually. I've taken some of this stuff that I've done. I've latexed some of the shop towels, and I've like sat there and it like really stretches, and it's not really wanting to give. It's like a permanent. Well, it is a permanent bond, but it's uniform. It's like it's fused together like it's one piece now. That's why one of the reasons why I love such a great technique. Alright, so I'm tying this bottom piece in there. Now what I could do if I wanted to is I could take a little bit of cotton and attach it there with some shop towels, and I can create a little pointed chin if I wanted to. Maybe we will try that. Alright guys, so I got some cotton here, and what cotton does really, when you get a cotton ball, believe it or not, it's in a roll. It's not how you would like you could pull it apart and all kinds of different, you can. But if you really look at a cotton ball, it's actually rolled. The more you know. Alright, you probably knew that. I don't know. If you didn't, maybe you learned something today. So I just want to double some up on top of each other. Let's see if I can't create a little chin there. Take that. Sorry, sticking with this. Glue, and we'll get some latex on there. I'll put it right there. Alright, now is the tricky part. I don't want to put you don't want to take your brush and start rubbing it on that cotton. It's not going to work out too good for you. It's going to pull and it's going to make a mess. So what I do, and what I've done, is I'll take a piece of shop towel, and then I'll try to go around that cotton without getting it on there. Really saturate around it. I need to put some down here. piece, attach it to where I've got the latex, and then start working it and attaching it. It sticks pretty good when it's on there. Now, alright, then I want to get some latex on it. Now this is going to secure it, it's going to tie it all in, and that is going to actually saturate through the paper towel into the cotton, and it's going to help secure it. So dabbing it all on there. This is sealing the deal, if you will. So you want to make sure that it's in the position you want. You can always add after. You could add more cotton if you're not satisfied. Alright, so you got like some wrinkles in it. I'm liking that. And there we have it, guys. He's got a little added chin. Alright. So he's starting to come to life. Creepy looking guy. Alright, so basically now the rest of it is going to be just adding the latex to it. And then, you know, I could always... Now, another thought I just had is I could have some, like, black hair coming out. Like, it is an actual demon. And he's coming out. He's got black hair. And so that might add to the theme. And it might help me here because I can attach the hair in a way that it's coming out and it's flowing, but it's also allowing some light to come through, because I really want to make sure that that light comes through, because that's going to help to sell the effect. Alright, so we're going to look at this now. I think what I need to do is I need to take my razor knife and just cut out some of this socket. Be careful. If you're done with this, kids, like, make sure your parents are there to help you, or because you can cut yourself. That's not good. Alright, so. Ooh, and it's hollow too. It's got a cavity inside where there was some air trapped, which is cool because I can utilize that. You could almost use it like a skull. You know, he's half, you know, he's got half one eye, but his other eye is just an empty cavity. Alright, so I've got my pool noodle. This was a pool noodle, and I cut it, and then I cut it again. I cut strips because I use this stuff. If you guys watch my other videos, you'll see I use this stuff a lot. And what I do is I just start cutting the sharp edges, and I start going all the way around it. Okay. Cutting the edges to bevel it and round it and give it a shape. Alright, so what I need to do is I need to attach this pool noodle to this rat head. I have the mouth open, and what I could, if you really want to get crazy, you can open this mouth up and Dremel down these teeth and add some polymer clay, translucent Primo polymer clay teeth to really bring it up, and maybe even a tongue or something like that. But I think we're going to play with this. Maybe I'll end up making a tongue for them, but I think I'm just going to go with the teeth that are here. Alright, so I'm going to take my armature wire and my pool noodle. First of all, I want to figure out how long do I want this thing. Alright, so I'm going to cut it about here. Alright, so I'll make them about, I'll make the next one a little bit longer. I'll run with it. So you could do as many of these as you want. If you want, you could put like 10 of these serpentine looking things coming out of the head. So I'm just fishing the wire through. I go real slow, and then I kind of can feel it and try to control where it's going, because if it pokes through, then I can always back it off and change direction. Basically, all I want to do is feed it through. I don't want to go to the very, very end, but I want to go pretty close to the end, because I want as much articulation as I can, because you're going to be able to pose this. Alright, so I'm just about at the end. Believe it or not, this wire is so soft and pliable that you can cut it with scissors. Although I wouldn't suggest it for your expensive scissors, you know. I buy scissors, junk scissors, and I go through them. Alright, so I'm going to put one here. I'm going to glue that on there. And then we're going to pose it the way we want to for this gnarly looking creature. So yeah, I want to be able to pose this, and I'm going to latex over all of that too. So okay, so now I'm just tacking it with super glue. Alright, you can use hot glue if you want, but the super glue is going to tack it good, okay? And then what's really going to secure it is that you're going to do the paper towel and latex on there. You can do that first if you so choose. I think it's easier if you do the paper towel and latex first, then it's going to be easier to do. And then the last thing you do is get it in there. And I don't know if I mentioned, you're going to want some wire sticking out. This wire is going to help you, because I'll put adhesive on this as well as on the inside and stick that wire into the foam. That's going to help all of it. That's going to help tie it in. And then especially when I go back in and do the latex and paper towel it into the socket. So that's going to help us. So we're going to do 2 of those, and then we're going to see what we're going to do. But this is enough, guys, to keep you going for the week. I do apologize for the delay on this one. I probably should have started it when I knew that I could consecutively keep on it, but I hope you guys understand. I really had to jump on these opportunities with these artists that I did interviews with in the last couple of weeks. But I can assure you that next week we are going to revisit this, okay? I hope you're enjoying what we got going on here so far, that it's inspiring you for your own project similar to this. But anyways, we're going to keep on it now this time. So if you haven't done so, please go check out my brothers, Keith from Cobwebs and Candlesticks, and Vic Springson from Monster Misfits. These guys are mad. They're building like crazy, especially now because they're going to be going to MHC. I'm not going to be able to make it this year, guys, but I hope next year the trio of terror will be together. But go check out their channels and show them some love. And I appreciate you guys. And until next time, peace.